Okay, so a lot of this is going to be no calculator. However, you can use your calculator to assist you, but you need to make sure you're showing your work. So adding and subtracting, you have two signs side by side. Okay, so two signs side by side. Before you do anything, you need to fix this. All right, 2 plus -6. So if you're at +2, the arrow goes to the +2. But then you have to add a -6. So negatives face the other way. Okay, so if you add a -6, now it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're at -4. So really, it's just like you're subtracting 6. So when you have the opposite signs, it becomes a subtraction. The answer is -4. Okay, we want to focus. The focus for this unit isn't doing the math, but fixing signs. That's the important stuff. Okay, so if you're not showing your work, you're not really learning what we need to learn. You need to be able to fix the signs. Okay, now the other way, if we have -4, the arrow is going to be pointing this way to -4, and then we're going to be adding 7 positive. So we're going to go the other direction, 4 and 3 more, and so that's 7 positive. So our red arrow is -4. Oh, stand by 1. I didn't take that away, so I should take that away. And we're off the number line. Okay, so there is taking away a +7. And so it's just like you're subtracting 7. And what do we get? -4 minus 7? -13. Okay. So when the signs are different or opposite, the operation becomes a subtraction. Okay. So if you're adding or subtracting and your signs are opposite, you need to fix it and it becomes a subtraction. Okay. Let's not worry about the number lines anymore because we don't quiz that at all. It's just an idea to help us understand the differences with the positives and negatives. What about -6 and you take away -8? Yes, Josh? Oh, did I screw that up? Yep, -11. Thanks, Josh. Okay. Oh wait, -6 minus -8. So you're taking away a negative. So we're at -6, and you're taking away a -8. So you would be right here at 2. So what is that like? When you're fixing your signs, it becomes an addition. It's like you're adding 8. And so the answer equals 2. Okay? So -6, and you're taking away a -8. Okay. All right. Next one, -6 plus +1. So there's -6 plus +1 going this direction. And so you're at -5. So really, you're just adding the 1. So at the beginning, our signs were the same, and then what did it change to? It changed it to an addition. Okay. Any questions? So what I want you to do, I do not want you to go, I want you to get rid of your brackets and simplify your sign. That's what we're testing you and quizzing you on. Can you simplify the sign? So you'll rewrite -10 and all the rest. This is what's important, and then go to your answer. Okay, so fix all your signs. Get rid of your brackets. Fix your signs. So I would look to here to have a +9 and probably a +6. So I fixed the double signs, I fixed the double signs, I have to fix the double sign. Go ahead, do that now. Practice it, please. Okay, so the work I'm looking for is this to be a +3. Then you go through it left to right. Whenever, as soon as your signs are simplified, you go from left side to your right side. So -10 minus 9 is -1. And technically you should rewrite it. -1 plus 6 is 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. Okay. Some people can go left to right and show work as well, like by doing this. So what I do sometimes, I'll show you an alternate method. What I do is I go negative 10 plus 9 is negative 1, and then I go negative 1 plus 6 is 5, 5 plus 3, 8. Okay, so it's the lazy man's way. Yeah. Thank you. 0 for 2, Mr. Barker. So where should we be? What's 5? Minus 3 is 2. All right. Okay, time to pull up my game. So the next one, 12 minus 4 minus 7 plus 6 plus 5. So I should see that. That's what I'm going to mark. That's what's important. Okay. Then you go through step by step. All right, here we go, Barker. 12 minus 4, 8. Woo! 8 minus 7. 1. 1 plus, is that right? Yep. 1 plus 6 is 7. Plus 5, 12. Hands up if you got 12. Woo! Got it. All right. Any questions by subtract integers? Okay, good. Turn it over. Multiplying and dividing. This one's a lot easier. Okay? This one's a lot easier. Okay. So, do you guys have questions, or you just feel like chit-chatting? Questions? I don't mind questions. Questions are good. Anna? You good? Oh, okay. So, 6 times negative 7, negative 42. If you have one negative sign, you have a negative product. Okay? Negative 75 divided by 3, negative 25. So when you're multiplying and dividing, a positive and negative number makes the answer negative. So what we're looking at is an odd amount of negative signs. Okay, so kind of focus there with an odd amount. Now it's pushing ahead to the coming up, but we'll see that. Good, signs are opposite. We have one negative sign, negative 42, same answer. It doesn't matter the location. There's one negative sign, one negative answer. So when the signs are different or opposite, the answer is negative. Did the order of the signs make a difference? No. Whether it's on the first number or the second number, it didn't make a difference. All right. So, multiplying or dividing two of the same signs. So when you have the two same signs, they cancel out and get a positive answer. Here, we have two of the same signs, and most of you were like, whoa, weird question. Of course, I just want to point it out. Again, two of the same signs, positive 100. Here, two of the same signs, positive 25. Now, you don't need to write a positive sign. Right? If you just write the number, it's always a positive. Okay. So multiplying, dividing two negatives or two positives makes the answer positive. So what you got to focus on is an even number, or even amount of negative signs equal a negative answer. Okay, so focus on that, an even amount. So I'm going to go off to the side here on a little tangent. If I have a negative times a negative, what kind of answer will I get? Positive. Negative times a negative, times a negative, what kind of answer will I get? Negative. You can try it on your calculator, right? 1 negative times 1 negative times 1 negative. Sure enough, it's negative. Okay. So, what's your guesses on this? What are you going to get? Positive, because it's even. So, odd, even, odd, even. Okay, that's a good pattern to recognize. It's going to help you for a lot of things like exponents and some harder Bedmas questions as well. Okay, it helps you check your calculator too. So down here, when the signs are the same, the answer is always positive. And ignore that question because it's not really needed. Good. So now that we just talked about how many negative signs make positive or negative, please draw an arrow down to the negative signs in this question. So there's one. Where are the others located? Draw an arrow. How many negative signs? 3. And 3 is what kind of number? Odd. So what kind of answer are you going to get? Negative. So right away, you can go negative. Without even touching your calculator. See? Brilliant. Now you don't even need to touch your calculator with your negative signs because that part's figured out. Now you can ignore the negative signs and just go through the question. Now, since it's all multiplying and dividing, we always go from left to right because they're on the same level of the order of operations. So we can focus on the digits, not on the signs. What's 36 divided by 9? 4. What's 4 times 2? 8. What's 8 divided by 8? 1. So our complete answer then is negative 1. We did our negative signs first, then we focused on the result. Okay? Great skill for you guys to look at. Please try example number 2 yourself. Okay? First of all, draw arrows and decide whether your answer should be positive or negative. Hands up, you got plus 15. Awesome. Any questions about what I did? Okay. Right, so I did my work. Have a look. Okay. Any questions? So where are we going to use this stuff? Well, it helps us to know whether we're putting it into our calculator properly. Because truthfully, you can put that into your calculator exactly as you see it, and it's probably going to pop out the answer. But with a lot of higher level math, it's really hard to use a calculator because it doesn't do letters. And so you need to know order of operations so you can do steps correctly. Okay? So our steps involve, first thing we look at is brackets. The second thing we look at is exponents. The third thing we look at is division and multiplication. Now these are on the same level. So you're not always doing division first. It depends what's written first. And that's why we go from left to right, just like we read a book in English. All right, or French. All right, so same level, left to right. And then the fourth thing would be to look and try and do your addition or subtraction. And again, they're on the same level. So the Americans don't use that. They use, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You'll see they got those switched, but still proper order because they're on the same level, left to right. Okay? So you're starting on your left, working towards your right. Aunt Sally's the same, yay. And there's a couple others out there. These aren't the only ones. Google this stuff. It's all out there, right? Free information. So we're totally trying to get you to do stuff out of order. When you're doing these questions, you need to work down. You can maybe do 2 to 3 steps at a time. Okay? So if I'm looking at A, what 2 things can I do right away? Have a look. Okay. What 2 things could I do right away? Yep.
4 times -5.
Good. I can do the multiplication. What else could I do? Yep.
I guess 3 times -3.
Good. So I can do the multiplications first. They're separated by a plus sign, which must be done last because you need to find the answers. So look at me, sorry, not look at me, look at the board. I see this a lot of times. People go 4 times -5 equals -20. That is not showing your work. That's the worst thing you could do. Because you don't really know where it is in the big problem. You're going to have to go looking. Now this one's super simple, and that's why you can get away with it. But practice good habits for the questions you're going to see later on. What you want to do is do the multiplication and then write the answer below where it came from. Now you know, since they're lined up vertically, it's super easy to check your work. Okay, this is the habits you need to learn. And then we can do the other multiplication and write our answer where? Over on the side, -3 times -3 equals 9. No, this is not showing your work. Writing the answer below is showing your work. Okay, so we want to work vertically. Now you can put an equal sign if you want. Don't have to though. And now what's your answer? You're at -20. Sometimes with these ones, I always think of a thermometer. Here's 0. I'm at -20, and now I have to go up 9. So I'm going in that direction. Not that high though, but it's not -29. Okay, it's -11. Mr. Barker loves it when you put a little box around the answer. Easy to find. I usually tend to give you extra half marks here and there just because I do. Because I can. Okay. Any questions with this one? B. Right. How many people want to do that 6 minus 2 right away? Because it's so easy. 6 minus 2. Can we do that? No. That's going to be the very last thing we're going to do. So what I'd like to do sometimes is draw arrows to the very last thing. That there is the last thing you can do. Okay. What's the first thing we have to do? Boudreaux? Sorry? 3 plus 6, exactly. So this doesn't change at all, but we just go 3 plus 6, 9. And when I look at that next line, I know what you did. I know what you did because I can match it up. Okay. Then I can't go 6 minus yet, but I can write it down, and then the change is easy to see. What's the change? Yeah, 2 times 9 is 18. Now the answer goes underneath that. What's 6 minus 18? -12. Okay. So use a thermometer to help you a little bit. Okay. All right. Any questions? C. Draw an arrow to the last thing that you're going to do. What's the very last thing you're going to do? Anna? Darm? I'm sure you're thinking, not just daydreaming. Darm? Sorry? Subtract? There's no subtraction in there for C. Yep. Nope. Josh? What's the very last thing? Add. All right. It's either going to be adding or subtracting, but there's no subtraction. And if there was, it has to be written last. Okay. So what we're going to do, first of all, we're in brackets. We have to find the answer. Notice here the difference between order brackets, which are on the ends. Those are order brackets, versus brackets separating your signs. Okay, so there's 2 different types there. Good, so that's the last thing we're going to do. What does this dot mean? Is that 2.4? Yeah. 2 times. So this is another way of writing a multiplication. It can be done before we do the addition. What's the other way I've written multiplication on this page? Yep.
Put a number in brackets beside it.
Exactly. So that we did it over here. When there's a number beside a bracket, that means multiplication as well. Okay. Good. 8 plus what? What goes in the brackets? 6 minus 4. 2. So what about exponents? We have to do exponents before we do addition. What does 2 cubed equal the long way? Josh, question? The long way is not 8. Yeah? Thank you. So glad you didn't say 2 times 3. Okay, and that equals 8. So we're going to go 8 plus 8. Again, I can see answers because we're down below, and that equals 16. Okay. Good. Where are we here? If you look at this answer sheet, you have this worksheet, but look how they have the answers. They are clearly showing their work by changing, writing the answers for each step. Okay? So that's important when you get to this harder questions. So what's your homework for today? Okay. Integer review worksheet. Are you guys doing the odds or all of them?
Odds.
Odds? Yeah, that's right. So do the odds here, please. Okay, do the odds on the front and on the back. Now on the back, for the brackets, you want to try and get your adding and subtracting to be done first. Okay. All right, do the odds. Even on the back, do the odds. Go.